Hello, and welcome to Silent Driving Lessons. This is the Knowing Your Traffic Signs series. Direction signs on all-purpose roads. Junction ahead between two primary routes. Roads other than motorways are referred to as all-purpose roads. Those of national and regional importance are called primary routes. They always have numbers. Direction signs on these roads have green backgrounds, yellow route numbers and white lettering. Primary routes, together with motorways, from a national network of roads between major towns, primary destinations. Junction ahead between two non-primary routes. All other roads, including local roads with numbers, are called non-primary routes. Direction signs on these roads have white backgrounds, with black route numbers and lettering. Most road maps show primary routes in green and use other colors to distinguish between non-primary roads, roads and local unnumbered roads. Maps may also indicate primary destinations. The color coding of these maps and the colors of the traffic signs may help you to plan your journey, using primary routes wherever possible. Where a primary route has a junction with a non-primary route, a colored panel on the advanced direction sign is used to indicate a route of different status. Blue panels are used to indicate motorways, green panels indicate primary routes and white non-primary routes. Sign on a primary route indicating a non-primary route. Sign on a non-primary route indicating a primary route. There are different types of sign that might be used on the approach to a junction. Map type sign shows the junction layout and is commonly used for roundabouts, with a special symbol for mini roundabouts. The width of each route symbol depends on the type of the road indicated. Wide for primary routes and motorways, medium for and B, numbered non-primary routes and narrow for local roads without numbers. Map type sign on primary route indicating a roundabout ahead. Map type sign for a mini roundabout. A stack type sign shows directions at a junction ahead, but not the road layout. It can often be smaller than the equivalent map type sign and is used for simple junctions, e.g. a crossroads, and where there might not be space for a larger sign, especially in urban areas. Examples of stack type signs. Arrows indicate the direction of exits from the junction ahead. Each is shown on a separate part of the sign. The ahead direction may not be shown for a junction with a minor side road. A sign that indicates the appropriate lanes to use for turning movements at a junction ahead is sometimes in conjunction with, or instead of, a map type or stack type sign. Route numbers in brackets are roads that will be reached by following the route indicated. Where a primary route is reached by following a non-primary route, its route number in brackets is shown on a small green patch. However, non-primary routes reached along primary routes are not indicated on white patches. B1234, in the example, is a non-primary route. Signs indicating a route to a motorway include a blue patch with the motorway number in brackets. Signs located at a junction and pointing along a road have chevrons rather than arrows. They are called flag-type signs. Some signs may be rectangular with upward-pointing arrows. These are used where the road divides, such as at an exit slip road or a forked junction. The background color of a flag-type sign is that appropriate for the route indicated. Colored panels are not used where a primary route has a junction with a non-primary route. However, flag-type signs may include route number patches. A rectangular sign at the junction may have colored panels, but only if it indicates more than one route. Flag-type sign indicating a primary route that leads to a motorway and to a non-primary route. Rectangular sign at a junction, indicating both a primary and a non-primary route. The background color of the main sign is that appropriate for the main road on which the sign is located. Flag-type sign indicating a non-primary route. Rectangular sign at a junction, indicating a non-primary route. This sign indicates that a U-turn should be made at a roundabout ahead in order to follow the route to the destinations shown. It is normally located on a dual carriageway road. Where a turning movement is prohibited, signs may show an alternative route. A sign may indicate the distance to a destination in miles. Fractions of a mile may be shown for distances less than 3 miles. Signs may be provided after a junction listing destinations and distances. These are known as route confirmatory signs. Direction sign showing distances to destinations. Route confirmatory sign. Route confirmatory sign including a regional destination, the southwest, and the distance to a motorway. Route confirmatory sign. Axtell is on the current route. Rickwell is reached by turning onto the B1555 at a junction ahead. Route confirmatory sign on a non-primary route leading to a primary route. Lambton is reached by turning onto the A11 at a junction ahead. Some junctions on dual carriageway roads may be similar to those on motorways, where a slip road leaves the main carriageway via a deceleration lane or a lane drop. The first direction sign on the approach to the junction is usually located half a mile in advance, although there may be an additional sign 1 mile before the junction. In some cases, these distances may be reduced, normally to 1/3 of a mile and 2/3 of a mile respectively. Another sign will be located where the deceleration lane starts or just before the left-hand lane leaves the main carriageway as a lane drop. The signs may be mounted at the side of the road or overhead. Signs located at the side of the road where there is a deceleration lane. The number of lanes through the junction remains the same. Where the junction ahead is between 2 primary routes, any non-primary route at the same junction is not shown on a white panel. Signs on the exit slip road will have green backgrounds. The junction ahead is with a non-primary route only, with the destination shown in a white panel. The signs on the exit slip road will have white backgrounds. This sign is located at the start of the deceleration lane. In addition to the side destination, the sign shows the ahead destinations. Countdown markers indicate the distance to the start of the deceleration lane. Each bar represents about 100 yards. These signs may also be used on the approach to a roundabout or crossroads. On non-primary routes, the bars are black on a white background. A final route direction sign is usually located where the exit slip road separates from the main carriageway. Signs on a non-primary route. Overhead signs for junctions with deceleration lanes and slip roads, where the number of lanes through the junction remains the same. Primary route sign. Non-primary route sign. Signs for a junction where a lane leaves the main carriageway to become the exit slip road. Primary route signs have green backgrounds. Non-primary routes have white backgrounds. Signs mounted at the side of the carriageway in advance of the junction. Signs mounted at the side of the carriageway just before the left-hand lane leaves the main carriageway. Overhead signs. Signs for tourist destinations. Tourist destinations may be shown on separate signs with brown backgrounds, or on brown panels incorporated into other direction signs. Symbols are often used to indicate the type of destination. These may be shown on road maps. Once the full name of a tourist destination and its symbol have been shown on a sign, subsequent signs may show only the associated symbol. Examples of symbols are shown here. Tourist information, castle, historic house, National Trust, English heritage, theme park, country park, bird garden, nature reserve, farm park, safari park, beach, museum, England, Roman remains, aviation museum. There are also symbols for sports and leisure facilities. Football ground, cricket ground, sports centre, England, motor sport, golf course, race course, fishing, cycle hire, 10-pin bowling, ski slope. Some symbols are directional and face in the direction in which traffic turns at a junction. For ahead destinations, symbols generally face left. Some tourist attractions may use a general symbol, depending on whether they are in England, Scotland or Wales. England, Scotland, Wales. This sign is used in advance of a junction, advising drivers of the route to be followed where it is not practicable to sign a tourist destination at the junction itself. Direction signs may indicate a route through an area of special interest. Signs showing the distance ahead to a tourist attraction. On the approach to a junction, A sign may indicate a town or geographical area with several tourist attractions. Location of tourist information point or center. Tourist information board, sign for pedestrians. Direction to a tourist information point of center. Direction to a parking place associated with a tourist attraction. Services signs. Services grouped together at a single location on primary and non-primary routes may be signed where parking, toilets, fuel and refreshments are available at least between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on every day except Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day. Signs on non-primary routes have white backgrounds. Older signs on primary routes have green backgrounds, but are being replaced by white background signs. Not 24 hours, may be varied to fuel only 24 hours, or omitted if the services are open 24 hours every day. The cup symbol indicates that light refreshments are available. The wheelchair symbol denotes facilities for the disabled. Distance to services. Direction to services. The services may have a geographical name. The LPG symbol means LPG fuel is available. The spoon and fork symbol denotes a restaurant and the bed symbol indicates overnight accommodation. The lorry symbol indicates that the services are for goods vehicles only. Where the symbol has a red bar, services are not available for goods vehicles. Alternative signs indicating the entrance to services may be used to indicate the direction to services at a road junction. Where individual facilities are available in a small town or village off the main route, signs at the junction indicate the direction in which they are located. If tourist facilities are available, the signs have a brown background and may include some of the symbols previously shown. Signs on the approach to the junction. Signs located where traffic turns at the junction. Brown signs may indicate establishments that provide restaurant facilities, light refreshments or overnight accommodation. Licensed camping and caravan sites. Youth hostels managed by the Youth Hostels Association or Scottish Youth Hostels Association. Picnic areas. Viewpoints and parking places with tourist information may also be indicated by brown signs. Camping and caravan site. The tent or the caravan symbol may be omitted, depending on the facilities available. The name of the campsite may be shown. Youth hostel. Picnic area may include a name. Distance to a parking place with toilets. Tourist information, picnic area, telephone and viewpoint. The symbols may be varied as appropriate. Parking signs. Direction signs indicating parking places, such as off-street car parks, have white backgrounds, even on primary routes. Where the parking destination is incorporated into a primary route sign with a green background, it is shown on a white panel. The signs may include various details about the parking places. Where parking places in different directions are shown on a sign in advance of a junction, the P symbol may be shown at the top of the sign only. Where a parking place is for a particular class of vehicle, this may be shown by the appropriate symbol. This sign indicates a lorry park that is reached by making a U-turn at the roundabout ahead. This map-type sign indicates the direction of routes to parking places from a double mini roundabout ahead. The route to the right leads to a parking place for solo motorcycles only. Direction and distance to a multi-story car park. Direction to a parking place that is available on certain days only. Direction to a parking place that has been approved by the police under the Safer Parking Scheme. A variable message sign may indicate the availability of spaces at each parking place. Some signs may show the number of vacant spaces. These are updated at regular intervals throughout the day. Direction to a parking place showing the total number of spaces. Sign showing the facilities available at a parking place ahead. The lorry symbol is omitted where there is no restriction on the class of vehicle. Signs may indicate the location of parking places associated with park and ride schemes. Where appropriate, the bus symbol is changed to another form of transport, e.g. tram, National Railway or London Underground. The sign may include the name of the park and ride site or the place that it serves. It may also include the times of operation. Other direction signs may incorporate the blue park and ride panel. Signs for drivers of goods vehicles. Routes recommended for goods vehicles have black signs with a white lorry symbol. Other direction signs may incorporate black lorry route panels. The most suitable route for lorries to a particular destination may be different from that for other vehicles. The lorry symbol faces in the direction in which vehicles turn at a junction. For ahead destinations, the symbol generally faces left. Where route numbers for motorways and primary routes are shown, these are placed on blue and green patches respectively. Direction sign at a junction. Direction signs on the approach to a junction. This sign is used in advance of a junction, advising drivers of goods vehicles of the route to be followed where it is not practicable to sign the route at the junction itself. Signs for traffic diversions. The symbol on this sign may be replaced by route numbers. Where, in an emergency, it is necessary to close a section of motorway or other main road to traffic, a temporary sign may advise drivers to follow a diversion route. To help drivers navigate the route, black symbols on yellow patches may be permanently displayed on existing direction signs, including motorway signs. On all-purpose roads, the symbols may be used on separate signs with yellow backgrounds. Symbols that may be used to indicate a diversion route. Signs incorporating a diversion route symbol that is shown alongside the road number of the route that drivers should follow. Separate signs indicating a diversion route may be permanently displayed. Temporary diversion signs may be required when a road is closed for reasons other than an emergency, e.g. to carry out roadworks. Examples of other direction signs. The name of the junction ahead may be shown at the top of the sign. Signs may incorporate hazard warning triangles. In this example there is an opening bridge on the road to the right. Signs may incorporate prohibitory roundels and indicate alternative routes. Direction signs at the junction may incorporate warning triangles or prohibitory roundels. A distance plate indicates that the hazard or restriction is not encountered immediately. A road through a bypassed town or village leads back to the main route. Staggered crossroads on a dual carriageway road. The white panel with the red border indicates a Ministry of Defense establishment. Ministry of Defense establishments may also be shown on separate signs with red borders, arrows and chevrons. The background color is always white even on a primary route. This sign shows a local road with 3 junctions ahead in close proximity. The H symbol on a red patch indicates a hospital with A and E facilities. If there is no A and E, a blue patch is used. The WC and wheelchair symbols indicate toilets with facilities for disabled people. Local destinations, including a railway station and recycling center, reached along a primary route. This sign shows both primary and local destinations that are reached along a primary route at a junction ahead. At some junctions, a separate sign might be used to indicate local destinations where this would avoid putting too much information on a single sign. In this example, the sign indicates that the primary route is a ring road. These signs are used where there are more destinations than can be accommodated on the signs at a junction. They are located in advance of the first sign for the junction and advise drivers of the routes to be followed for particular destinations. Signs may indicate an alternative route. Direction to an airport. The aircraft symbol usually points in the same direction as the arrow, as shown. Direction to a car ferry. The car symbols are replaced by the words, pedestrian ferry, when the ferry is for foot passengers only. Direction to a vehicle ferry. The car symbol is replaced by a second lorry symbol when the ferry is for goods vehicles only. This primary route sign indicates the directions to a ferry and an airport. It also shows a road to which entry is prohibited. The route to the left has a priority lane that avoids the roundabout. The route to the right leads to town centre parking and a railway station. Direction to a London Underground station. Direction to a VOSA, Vehicle and Operator Services Agency, testing station for goods vehicles. Direction to a public telephone. Direction to public toilets with facilities for disabled people. Direction to a shop mobility service for disabled people. A modern version of the traditional fingerpost may be used at some junctions on minor rural roads. The sign may have a square end and may include a distance in miles. More than one destination may be shown. Signs indicating the direction to a new housing development may be left in place for up to 6 months after completion of the development. Signs with a light green background and yellow border are used to indicate the route for emergency vehicles to a permanent incident control point. Signs with a red background are used to indicate the route for emergency vehicles to a temporary incident control point. Signs that indicate the appropriate traffic lanes for turning movements at a junction ahead may be used alone or in addition to map type or stack type advanced direction signs. Signs on primary routes have green backgrounds, and signs on non-primary routes have white backgrounds. These signs show how traffic lanes on a slip road join the main carriageway of a dual carriageway road at junctions. Signs on primary routes have green backgrounds, and signs on non-primary routes have white backgrounds. Sign for drivers on slip road. Sign for drivers on main carriageway. The slip road joins the main carriageway as a lane gain to increase the number of lanes from 2 to 3. A distance panel may be added. Sign for drivers on slip road. Sign for drivers on main carriageway. The right-hand lane of the slip road joins the main carriageway as a merge with an acceleration lane. This is followed by the left-hand lane which joins the main carriageway as a lane gain. Chevron road markings normally separate the two lanes on the slip road. The distance may be omitted. Direction signs for cyclists and pedestrians. Direction signs specifically for cyclists have a blue background and include a white pedal cycle symbol. Most are freestanding signs, but some primary and non-primary route direction signs may incorporate a blue panel indicating a route for cyclists that is different from that for other traffic. The cycle symbol may also be used on pedestrian signs where cyclists and pedestrians share the route. Primary route direction sign, in advance of a junction, indicating a route for cyclists. Non-primary route direction sign, in advance of a junction, indicating a route for cyclists. Where the route indicated forms part of the national cycle network, the number of that route is shown on the signs in white numerals on a red patch. Links within the network may be designated as regional cycle routes. Signs indicating these have white route numbers on blue patches. Some local authorities may have their own numbered cycle routes using different colored patches. Where a cycle route leads to a national or regional route, the number of the route to which it leads may be shown in brackets. Signs may also include the name of the route, number of a national cycle route, number of a regional cycle route, signs showing the direction and distance, in miles, to destinations along a named cycle route forming part of the national cycle network. Sign indicating two different cycle routes leading from a junction ahead. Direction of a national cycle route. Map type signs may indicate the route through a junction. In this example, the sign shows the route across an entry slip road. A sign may be used to direct cyclists to a signal-controlled crossing. This sign informs you that you are following a national cycle route with the number shown. Signs indicating the direction to a parking place for pedal cycles. Direction signs for pedestrians generally have a blue background with white lettering and include the walking figure symbol. In town centers, especially pedestrianized areas, other colors may be used and the symbol may be omitted. These signs may also use different styles of lettering. Pedestrian routes to tourist attractions may have brown backgrounds and those for public footpaths have green backgrounds. Signs may include distances in yards or miles. Pedestrian and cycle route to a railway station. A public footpath may be indicated by a yellow waymarker. A blue arrow is used for public bridleways. The background may be of a different color. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.